Let's see how can you make your game look better using particles. Particles are a really good possibility to improve the look of your game because you don't need to learn a lot how to make art and beautiful effects, you just need to simply understand how to set the characteristics of the particle system. You need to give feedback to the player so he will feel that your game world is alive. For this you can use particles. If you don't give feedback to the player, he will not know if he did good or bad, and the player will be confused. If you add some effects, then he will understand way faster what he has to do, and the look of your game will be way better. With just a bit of work, you can make your game to feel more responsive. The user will feel that damn, this game does have some nice and unique effects, and he will be entertained. In my example, I have added some effects when the player collides with a cube. You can see the difference between the two, how better does the game look with just a little change. I have made the same for the orange cubes. On collision they will emit orange particles, so the game will be more colorful, and it will look like the orange cubes have crashed. Another effect that I have added is when the player taps on the screen, then the sphere will emit particles to give a better feedback to the player, so he can observe that his tap has worked. Another example of the usage of the particles is adding a trail after the player. Let's see the difference between the two. You can see that when the user doesn't have a trail, that is way more boring than the one that has one. Many times the difference between a good game and a bad game is how much time and effort was invested in every detail of the game. You should work on these little details to make the game more pleasing. The particle systems are really easy to use and they have a huge impact on your game. At the end of every level, I have added a firework that will give a feedback for the user if he passes the level. I think this will make the game look better, even though I haven't used any graphical art to improve the look of the game. You can try multiple types of configurations for the fireworks. You can find many tutorials on the internet. For me, this was the best that fits to my game. Another important topic is the background of the game. I have added bigger objects in the background which move slower, and that suggests the object is further away. I have tried multiple objects and the cube made a better background than the sphere, probably because my scene contains many cubes and that's why it fits better. I have tried multiple types of backgrounds and I figured out that the backgrounds can be made using particle effects. Using brighter color particles, the gameplay was a bit disturbed, so after that I have tried a bit darker particles, then the background doesn't disturb the player and has a good look. In the menu at first I have added these moving objects as background. I have tried to make it with the spheres, but I was not satisfied, and then I have used the cubes to create the background. But then I figured out that it doesn't look as good as in the gameplay, so I have tried out with particles, and because here is no gameplay, I made it more colorful. I think this background looks way better than the old one. Let's compare the two, before using particle effects and after. We can see that using particles, your game will be more enjoyable and more alive. This will attract many players with a more attractive look of the gameplay. If you are interested in this game, you can add to your wishlist on Google Play. You can find the link in the description. So the lesson of the video is that you should definitely try out the particle systems because they are really easy to use and the games can have a way better look. Thanks for watching. If you want to see new videos, subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitter. See you in the next video.